It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
Welcome back to Declare Your Independence from Phoenix, Arizona, here in the beautiful studios, beautiful studios of Freedoms with an S, freedomsphoenix.com. I'm so glad that Jim Carrey in one of his movies did that. It helps me spell beautiful because I had a problem spelling it. beautiful. Yep, that's one way to learn. Now, one thing I wanted to show you, it's always the next generation. Now, I have a TED Talk. If you aren't familiar with this, you just Google TED, T-E-D Talk, and it's tedtalk.com. It'll come up, and there's a lot of great presentations there, and they try and keep politics out and so on, some innovations and so on, and it's kind of green and maybe a little progressive a lot of time, but they have a lot of great presentations they do before large audiences. Well, this, the next generation next, this 11-year-old boy gets up and said, what I learned about food. So I'm going to go ahead and play this for you. It's only a few minutes, but I mean, we're going to count on Generation Next to save us. Here we go.
Hello, my name is Burke Bear, and I'm 11 years old. I came here today to talk about what's wrong with our food system. First of all, I would like to say that I'm really amazed at how easily kids are led to believe all the marketing and advertising on TV, at public schools, and pretty much everywhere else you look. It seems to me like corporations are always trying to get kids, like me, to get their parents to buy stuff that really isn't good for us or the planet. Little kids especially are attracted by colorful packaging and plastic toys. I must admit, I used to be one of them. I also used to think that all of our food came from these happy little farms where pigs rolled in mud and cows grazed on grass all day. What I discovered was this is not true. I began to look into this stuff on the internet, in books, and in documentary films, in my travels with my family. I discovered the dark side of the industrialized food system. First, there's genetically engineered seeds and organisms. That is when a seed is manipulated in a laboratory to do something not intended by nature. Like taking the DNA of a fish and putting it into the DNA of a tomato. Yuck. Don't get me wrong. I like fish and tomatoes, but this is just creepy. The seeds are then planted, then grown. The food they produce have been proven to cause cancer and other problems in lab animals. And people have been eating food produced this way since the 1990s, and most folks don't even know they exist. Did you know rats that genetically engineered corn had developed signs of liver and kidney toxicity? These include kidney inflammation and lesions and decreased kidney weight. Yet almost all the corn we eat has been altered genetically in some way. And let me tell you, corn isn't everything. And don't even get me started on the confined animal feeding operations called CAFOs. Conventional farmers use chemical fertilizers made from fossil fuels that they mix with the dirt to make plants grow. They do this because they've stripped the soil from all nutrients from growing the same crop over and over again. Next, more harmful chemicals are sprayed on fruits and vegetables, like pesticides and herbicides, to kill weeds and bugs. When it rains, these chemicals seep into the ground or run off into our waterways, poisoning our water too. Then they irradiate our food, trying to make it last longer, so it can travel thousands of miles from where it's grown to the supermarkets. So I ask myself, how can I change? How can I change these things? This is what I found out. I discovered that there's a movement for a better way. Now, a while back, I wanted to be an NFL football player. I decided that I'd rather be an organic farmer instead. That way... Thank you. And that way, I can have a greater impact on the world. This man, Joel Salatin, they call him a lunatic farmer because he grows against the system. Since I'm homeschooled, I went to go hear him speak one day. This man, this lunatic farmer, doesn't use any pesticides, herbicides, or genetically modified seeds. And so for that, he's called crazy by the system. I want you to know that we can all make a difference by making different choices, by buying our food directly from local farmers or neighbors who we know in real life. Some people say organic or local food is more expensive, but is it really? With all these things I've been learning about the food system, it seems to me that we can either pay the farmer or we can pay the hospital. I know definitely which one I would choose. I want you to know that there are farmers out there, like Bill Keener and Sequatchie Coast Farms in Tennessee, whose cows do eat grass and whose pigs do roll in the mud, just like I thought. Sometimes I go to Bill's farm and volunteer so I can see up close and personal where the meat I eat comes from. I want you to know that I believe kids will eat fresh vegetables and good food if they know more about it and where it really comes from. I want you to know that there are farmers markets in every community popping up. I want you to know that me and my brother and sister actually like eating baked kale chips. I try to share this everywhere I go. Not too long ago, my uncle said that he offered my 6-year-old cousin cereal. He asked if he wanted organic toasted O's or the sugar-coated flakes. You know, the one with the big striped cartoon character on the front. My little cousin told his dad that he would rather have the organic toasted O cereal because Burke said he shouldn't eat sparkly cereal. And that, my friends, is how we can make a difference, one kid at a time. So next time you're at the grocery store, think local. Choose organic, know your farm, and know your food. Thank you.
Yeah. Next generation. Don't eat that sparkly cereal. Well, that was my favorite kind growing up. Man, it was Captain Crunch and Frosted Flakes. And, so it's changing, and out of necessity, but just access to information. This homeschooling thing is a big deal, too. In fact, we had a project that we kind of set on the side when we were doing the It's Not My Debt project, and it's just been burning a hole in my mind sitting there. There's two things. One, it was wallet voting. I've had that website for 7, 8 years. And I said, someday it's going to come down to that. I'll just wait. Well, this silver thing, yep, we're opening up wallet voting. We're getting everything all ready, and the artwork's being done, and we started doing some of the videos today, and we'll start showing those this week, and we'll hit the ground running here at the first of the year. Now, the other thing was defending Archimedes. Defending Archimedes is a project that started burning in my mind after the 2008 election process, and I could see what was happening. It's just brainwashing. It's just, can you do it for another generation? And Archimedes was a great inventor, a great mind. Here's an individual that came up with pi. I mean, thousands of years, BC. So here's a guy, or at least hundreds. I know it was a long time ago. So here's a guy that just, he just had one of those minds. Over the years, I've met a couple of these kinds of people that their mind works at a much higher rate. That their processor is, they got their Intel processors generations ahead. They can just think faster. They can process. They can maintain a memory. They can, get a solution to something that they're working on, hold that in their, memory cache, and then work on something parallel processing. I've asked them a lot of questions, a lot of examples, just hammer on them. How are you able to do this? And go through their entire life when they were kids, what their first memories were. They just got a well-organized mind that has the ability. Some of them, have some aptitudes more than others. Some are more well-rounded than others. But, it's just amazing what they're capable of. If you just support the next Archimedes, defend them. Don't let them go into the public school system where these types of people, the ones that are given the drugs. They're going, no. You're so bored you can't sit still and read, Dick and Jane with Spot. You can't be dumbed down with the rest of the kids. You aren't fit into this box, this slave mentality. It doesn't work for you. We got a drug for that. Well, they're just destroying the next generation of Archimedes. So we need to defend Archimedes, the next Archimedes, the plethora of Archimedes, the access to all of this information, technology, the ability. You just got to get out of the way. I think that's what the bad guys are afraid of. How like an angel is humanity. It's amazing what, because think about it. The technological innovations that we enjoy, the businesses that were started, the people that were able to invent something, make our lives better, it's individuals. American ingenuity and everything was all about our system that supported the individual. We all benefit Oh, no. They want you to be a slave to the collective. That's going away. How are we going to position ourselves? So we're going to start working on this wallet voting thing right now. But soon, it'll be all about defending Archimedes, the next generation. And we're going to start with my grandkids, as I can. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a bunch of other stuff that we're going to be working on. We'll start sharing it with you the rest of this week for what's coming in the next year. We'll talk to you then.